back to Art History 202 News. My name is Jada Blusky, and I have the privilege to be here today at the National Gallery Art Museum in London, England, where we will discuss the portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini and his wife by the artist Jan van Eyck in 1434. I am joined with Emily Gibson, a tour guide here at the museum, who will show us around.
Hello, I'm excited for you to be here today and learn more about the significance of the portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini and his wife. Let's head inside where I have a presentation set up.
The Arnolfini painting is known for its mysterious and controversial approaches to why and how the painting was created. What makes it such a controversial topic, and how many theories revolve around the creation?
That is an excellent question. The Arnolfini portrait is highly mysterious due to the symbolism shown throughout the whole painting, and became controversial regarding what each symbol means. There is no way to know how many theories are out there revolving around the creation of the piece, and why it was commissioned, but the main two revolve around the painting being a marriage ceremony or a business contract for a future marriage between Giovanni and his future wife's father.
So what you're saying is that the portrait may mean it is not in fact a marriage ceremony, it is just set up to look like a marriage ceremony for Giovanni's future wife's father?
Yes, Walter Gibson dives further into this concept in a short article within Speculum, a journal of medieval studies. This theory consists of the painting being a promise for a future marriage between Giovanni Arnolfini and Giovanna Sanami, commissioned for her father Guglielmo Sanami. The contract was made to allow Arnolfini her dowry before the marriage ceremony, and was signed as a witness by Van Eyck. The other theory to why the painting was created was to show a couple coming together for the marriage. The symbols throughout the piece hold meanings to what the marriage means, and the different roles each will play within the marriage. Van Eyck stood as the witness to the wedding, and his signature in the back is showing that he was there to witness the two becoming wed.
The signature seems to be in another language. What is it, and what does it say?
The signature written on the wall is an inscription in Latin, saying, Jan van Eyck was here, 1434. The significance of his signature above the mirror brings into the speculation of the two figures shown in the reflection in the mirror. The two figures are depicted as the witnesses to the wedding, one being Van Eyck himself and the other being the priest. Furthermore, the mirror's amount of detail holds great meaning to the piece. In such a confined area, it shows the confined space the wedding took place in, but also shows the whole openness of a room, as a mirror would reflect. Around the outer edges of the mirror, there are wings and panels that hold religious images that hold great meaning to the painting with Christianity during the 1400s.
Moving on to other forms of symbolism in the painting, I know that there are many things to symbolize what both wife and husband are supposed to bring out of a marriage. In other words, what are the symbols that hold meaning to the duties they both have to complete while they are wed?
There are many different symbols shown in the painting that represent the duties a wife should do and what a husband should bring, such as the bed, beads hanging on the wall, the broom, and the shoes on the floor. To start, the bed with the red curtain symbolizes intimacy. The curtains to the bed being open implies what the wife is supposed to bring to the marriage, which is reproduction. Similar to that, removing one's shoes, the barefoot or accompanying shoes, is a universal symbol of fertility, the ability to produce offspring, all relating back to the desire for fertility. The broom in the back by the bed indicates domestic care, the role the woman will be playing in the home, being that she will maintain the house. As an upper middle class home, this doesn't mean her role is to clean, but is responsible for assuring the maids and slaves to do their jobs. As for Arnolfini, the beads represent purity, which the husband is supposed to bring with him into marriage.
Is there any significance to where they are placed within the painting?
Yes. Where Giovanna and Giovanni are positioned in the painting is important. Giovanna is next to the bed, which symbolizes that she will reproduce and carry on the family legacy, whereas Giovanni is next to the window, symbolizing how he will carry out the manly affairs of bringing home the income to support them and their future family.
What are the symbols that represent their wealth and status within society?
There are an abundance of signifiers of wealth within the painting, which includes the chandelier, stained glass windows, woven rug, fur-trimmed ropes, cherry tree, oranges, and dyed fabrics. Their clothing holds a greater power to the wealth the couple had. The fur along the cloth Giovanni is wearing shows that they had a great deal of money and had strong connections to the Medici. Another symbol that flaunts Arnolfini's social connections and wealth are the oranges on the windowsill and on the chest. Scholar Panofsky interpreted the oranges as a reminder of the fruit of paradise, a sign of a new perfect union or the perfect marriage of the people. Throughout the painting, there are many different colors shown. These include the colors black, red, green, and blue, which were all expensive dyes during the time.
Arnolfini's clothing shows his status in society and his wealth, but what does Giovanna's attire represent? And was she pregnant, or why is she holding her dress that way?
Giovanna's dress holds similar meanings of those to Arnolfini's with wealth and status. The color choice for the dress is not a coincidence. The color green is known for the hope and possibility of having a child. This runs into how Giovanna is holding her dress as well. She is not pregnant in the painting, it is merely just the way she was holding her dress up. During this time, women held their dresses in this way considering the amount of fabric there is, and the bulkiness of the fabric. Another observation with this, with the way she holds her dress, symbolizes that she wants to or hopes to have children in the future. As women are known for reproduction and fertility, the dog is held as a symbol of fidelity and fertility. The dog is placed between both Arnolfini and Giovanna as a symbol of their loyalty to each other.
It seems the composition is done in a unique way. Can you tell us more about the methods used to create the painting and how it was made?
To start, the painting was made using oil paint painted onto a panel of oak wood. The painting is fairly small in size, with only being 82.2 by 60 centimeters. Oil painting was fairly new during this time, but Van Eyck used the wet and wet technique to achieve depth of color in the painting. He also used multiple different vanishing points within the painting. This technique is thought of as an elliptical perspective, meaning there are 4 or more vanishing points used throughout the whole composition. The perspective of the portrait was done by observation in a convex mirror, or in other terms, a camera obscura. Van Eyck used the window light on the left side of the painting as a prominent light source, creating three-dimensionality of the subjects, the room, and the object inside.
Going back to the controversy with the Arnolfini painting, can we discuss more on why there was such a speculation and debate about the meaning of the piece when it ultimately revolves around Arnolfini's wedding?
For hundreds of years, the objects seen in the Arnolfini portrait were there to show off Van Eyck's extraordinary ability, showing off by painting a variety of materials. In 1934, a German, Erwin Panofsky, analyzed the painting, uplifting a secret. Panofsky did not just see the painting of a married couple, but as a marriage certificate. Van Eyck's signature above the mirror could be seen as a legal script, looking like a document that shows the witnessing of an event. The two people in the mirror are possible witnesses to the marriage. So many symbols are present, reinforcing the serious, solemn, sacramental elements seen within the painting, the marriage being blessed by both God and man. Ultimately, Panofsky saw the signature and mirror as evidence that Van Eyck was a witness. Adopting the Orthodox theory, the two people portrayed in the painting are indeed Giovanni Arnolfini and Giovanna Snami, commemorating a memorial portrait and a document at the same time, and in which Van Eyck signed his name as both the artist and witness. The positioning of the hands between the figures, the man with his left hand holding the right hand of the woman, is a contrary to ritual and signifies of a marriage ceremony. The position of Arnolfini's right arm shows a correspondence with prayer.
So basically, Erwin Panofsky believes the portrait to be a certificate for a future wedding. Is there another way historians see the overall meaning of the piece?
Similarly to Panofsky, Peter Shabaka discovers the hand placements do not match typical wedding placement. Therefore, Shabaka assessed that the figures in the painting are not Giovanni Arnolfini and Giovanna Snami, due to the hand clasp that holds people together in matrimony. In a traditional marriage ceremony, the couple holds their right hands together. Shabaka states the unusual hand gestures in the painting signifies the marriage between people of different social classes. Typically, this meant that the bride acquired no right to an inheritance, and also including offspring if they have any. This would be called a vernacular left-handed marriage. Since Giovanni and Arnolfini and Giovanni Sinami are known to have equal status, Schapaka concluded that they are not the ones depicted in the portrait.
Both scholars had similar observations, but both led to different interpretations. Are there any more similar to Panofsky or Schebaker?
A discovery in the early 1990s by French historian Jacques Paviat explored the archive of the ancient state records Lille, near the border of France and Belgium. In the archives, Paviat references to Giovanni Arnolfini's marriage came from a bound volume of state records, dated 1447, showing the couple did not wed until 1447, 13 years after 1443 when the painting was created. If this evidence of Paviat's discovery is believed, the marriage would not have happened yet until much later, and by the time the marriage between Arnolfini and his wife would happen, Van Eyck would be dead, insinuating the painting could not have been a wedding ceremony. Paviat's discovery helps support Panofsky's marriage certificate interpretation, with marriage taking place later on.
Thank you for taking the time to discuss and give us an insight on the Arnolfini portrait.
Thank you for visiting us here today at the National Gallery Art Museum. The Arnolfini portrait is one of the most mysterious paintings and is still one of the most controversial pieces of art from history. I hope you learned something new revolving all the different forms of symbolism represented in the painting.